Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Cooking with Ty. Hope everybody's had a great week. So this week, we're going to be making our favorite Penne alla Vodka. I'm going to add my own little twist to it. I've seen people make it with prosciutto before. I'm going to try making it with bacon. So, I've already got a pot on the stove heating up to boil the pasta in. Got my frying pans ready. Before we get going, I got to give thanks to my coworker, Jeff Pons, who, him and his wife were nice enough to gift me a wok and a new knife set. So, hopefully one of these episodes I'll be able to get that, put both of those to good use. So to get started with what we're going to need, obviously need some penne, a little bit of Parmesan cheese, some bacon, heavy cream, shallots, garlic, obviously vodka, a little bit of butter, tomato puree. Now, some people like to get their own tomatoes and puree them. I think it probably would come out better that way. Unfortunately, I don't have the machine that does that, so I'm skipping that step and just bought the already pureed tomatoes. And a little bit of basil. So our pot is still heating up there. We're going to get going with the sauce, and then we'll get the pasta in once that boils. So what I had gotten was a half a pound of bacon. I'm using about half of that, so a quarter of a pound of bacon. We're just going to slice it into nice thin strips here. I got these nice cutting boards at Ocean State Job Lot. So this is their first debut. And my cats are pissed off about something. Okay. So we'll go ahead and separate that all out once we get it into the pan. So next we're going to dice up a shallot. Get that all nice and broken up here. And then we're going to get into some garlic. And I will get into the garlic. Okay, so we've got our garlic peeled now. We'll go ahead and start chopping it up. And it doesn't have to be microscopic, you just don't want chunks like this in the sauce. There we go. So we're going to throw a little bit of olive oil in the pan. Don't use too much because when we cook the bacon, it's going to produce a little bit of grease. So you just don't want it to be too oily. And we don't want the bacon to get too crispy. We just want to brown it up a little bit. And while we're doing that, we'll get the pasta into the water. So we're waiting to get our pasta water back up to a boil. We've got our bacon in the pan. We're going to go ahead and mix in our shallots and our garlic. Let that all mix together. It smells delicious. So the next step is going to be to add our vodka. Now if you're cooking this on a gas stove, make sure that you shut the flame off before you put the vodka in. Because if it splatters at all, it can catch on fire. So we're mixing the vodka, and we're also going to add some basil. Basil, as Gordon Ramsay says. And we'll let that keep cooking. We're not going to leave the basil in there. It's going to get taken out. We're just trying to infuse some of the flavor from it. That'll get taken out after we cook in the pureed tomatoes. So our vodka's kind of cooked down a little bit. We're still going to continue to cook that. But we're going to add in our tomato puree, because that also needs to cook down. Make sure we get it all out of the can as much as we can. Give that a good mix. Now we'll just let it continue to cook till it starts to reduce and thicken down. And then the last step to the sauce is when we add in the cream. So at this part of the process, we're just waiting for the pureed tomato and the vodka to cook down. Just let the water evaporate out of it. It'll start to thicken up a little bit. If you end up having it be too thick, you can save some of the pasta water and use that to control it as how thick the sauce is. If it's not thick enough, let it cook longer. Alright, so you can see that it's kind of cooked down a little bit now. So we're going to add in our heavy cream. And then we'll continue to let it cook down a little bit more. And then it's almost done. Seems to be about the right color, I guess. One thing to watch out for with this when you have it on the stove, if your temperature's too high, it's going to splatter. You're going to end up like that. So, just be careful of that. We're just going to let it simmer a little bit longer. Put the lid on. Keep it from splattering. So this looks to be about what we're looking for here. So I'm going to go ahead and take some of this, put it into another pan here. And then we're going to take some of the pasta. Go ahead and mix that around in there. Let the pasta get a good coating of the sauce on it. I wish that I could do the fancy pan flipping, but I'd end up with pasta all over my kitchen. So what I've done is just mixed it around until it's got a pretty even coating on all of the pasta here. With what's left of the sauce, I'm just going to put that into a container and save it for the next time I want to make this. And, then it's one less step. I don't have to make, a lot of steps. I don't have to make the sauce. So So our final step is going to be a little bit of Parmesan. And make a mess all over my counter. And we're ready to try it. Alright, so here we are, the finished product. Looks pretty good, smells pretty good. Let's see how it tastes. It's very flavorful. Definitely will make this again. And as always, thank you for tuning in to Cooking with Ty. I really appreciate it. Check down in the description for my Patreon link if you'd like to contribute. And stay tuned for next week. We'll see what we're making. And one thing some of you guys might not know, all of these meals that I make every week are things that I've never made before. I've never made penne alla vodka. I had never made chicken parm before. I had never made shrimp scampi before. So this is all just me trying something new that I read about on the internet. And most of the time I'm able to put my own twist on it to make it my own. I haven't been disappointed yet. So everybody stay safe, stay healthy. Don't get that Rona. Cheers.